Hey guys, my name is Peter. I live in Los Angeles, and in this video, I'm going to share my top 10 places to go hiking in LA. I've been to most of the national parks out west, so the benefit of subscribing to my channel is that I'm going to show you the lesser known locations nobody talks about. Los Angeles is a nature lover's dream. There are tons of amazing places with stunning views of the ocean, skyline, mountains, canyons, bridges, and waterfalls. Let's get started with the top 10 spots in Los Angeles. I'm going to kick off this list with my absolute favorite place, Griffith Park. It's huge, one of the largest municipal parks in North America, and is home to several points of interest. First is the most iconic hike in the city, the hike to the Hollywood sign. It is quintessential LA, one of the most famous landmarks in the world, and is the first hike I ever did here. There are dozens of routes you can take to get to the sign, and if you really want to go, check out my top 5 hikes to the Hollywood sign video in the description below. Also in Griffith Park is Griffith Observatory and the Wisdom Tree, but the best part of Griffith Park is the hike along the top ridge, which offers views of both sides of the mountain. On one side, you have downtown Los Angeles, and on the other side, you see Glendale, Pasadena, and Angeles National Forest. You can also explore the park at night and get amazing views of the city lights in every direction. Next up is Topanga State Park. If you want spectacular views of the ocean and the city, the Los Leones Trail in Topanga State Park is the hike for you. It's 4.4 miles round trip. The views of the ocean and the city are spectacular. It's easy to get to, and there's plenty of parking. It can get a little crowded on weekends, but that's just because it's a great hike. The first part is a steady incline through some brush, but soon you reach several cool lookout points. I also love the trail because it has the option to go even further into Topanga State Park. It's on my list to go back again just to see how far it goes. Next up is Elysian Park. Los Angeles has a beautiful and underrated skyline, and the best place to see it is from Elysian Park. I only found this place because I went to Google Maps and found the closest possible park to downtown LA. Turns out it's the oldest park in the city. I was not disappointed. It was easy to get to with lots of parking. You didn't have to hike very far to get amazing views of Dodger Stadium, downtown LA, and on the other side of the park you can see Glendale, Pasadena, and Angeles National Forest. It's also an amazing place to see the sunset behind the skyline. I was there at night and the views were just stunning. Next up is a classic Los Angeles hike, the Bridge to Nowhere. It's a 9.5 mile out and back trail in the San Gabriel Mountains that takes you to an old arch bridge built in 1936. The bridge sits abandoned after a flood washed away the connecting road in 1938. This moderately difficult hike to the bridge follows the San Gabriel River, and you'll need to cross the river several times along the hike. I made an in-depth video on how to hike to the Bridge to Nowhere. You can find a link to the video in the description below. Next on the list is Runyon Canyon, a super convenient hike for anyone living in Hollywood. I've been over 100 times. It's got great views of the city and lots of ways to enter, but my favorite part of Runyon Canyon is the people watching. You'll see all types of people there, including famous people. Check out this guy trying to go down the side. Be careful though, you don't want to end up needing to be rescued like these people. I've also enjoyed the wildlife there. I've seen hummingbirds doing a cool mating dance, a gopher snake, red-tailed hawks, and after the sun sets, you'll have a good chance of seeing owls. They sit in the trees like cats, and you'll hear them hooting and hollering. Next up is a unique LA experience, the Culver City Stairs. They're centrally located near the Los Angeles airport. The park features a giant staircase leading all the way up to the Baldwin Hills Scenic Overlook. You'll get a great workout running up the 282 steps to the top, and you'll see a lot of people huffing and puffing along the way. The views from the top are really cool, but unfortunately, on the day I went to film, it was one of the smoggiest days in a while, so my footage isn't doing it justice, but on a clear day, it looks really cool. You can't talk about hiking in LA without mentioning Malibu. Malibu has tons of hikes, and you can't go wrong with any of them. You're almost guaranteed stunning views of the rolling green Santa Monica Mountains colliding with the mighty Pacific Ocean. It's home to the famous Escondido Falls, a 200-foot, two-tiered waterfall, which is a fairly easy 3.5-mile round-trip hike. One of my personal favorite hikes in all of the Los Angeles area is in Point Mugu State Park. The hike quickly ascends to offer one of the most stunning views of the Pacific Ocean I've ever seen, and you can easily end your day by watching the sunset from one of its amazing beaches. Now we're going to move on to Crystal Cove State Park. This is another beautiful spot where the mountains collide with the ocean. Crystal Cove is one of the largest open spaces of natural seashore in Orange County. It's near Newport Beach and spans 2,400 acres of inland canyons and gently rolling hills that lead into 3.2 miles of sandy beach and tide pools. There are several well-maintained trails that make it a leisurely and beautiful hike. Next up, Rancho Palos Verdes. Rancho Palos Verdes is a beautiful coastal city sitting along the bluffs of the Palos Verdes Peninsula. It features the historic Point Vicente Lighthouse, which sits right on the edge of the oceanside cliffs. You can also visit the Abalone Cove shoreline and do some tide pool exploring. There are several hikes that go along the coastline, and they're all beautiful. You really can't go wrong. It's just a clean, sunny, and beautifully blue place to explore the LA area. Lastly is Catalina Island. Catalina Island is off the coast of Los Angeles in the Pacific Ocean, and you'll need to take a ferry to get there. While it does have two ports, Avalon and two harbors, most of the 22-mile-long island is open and undeveloped. It reminds me so much of Hawaii, the way the green mountains fall into the blue ocean. If you're lucky on the ferry ride out there, you'll get to see whales and dolphins. The island is also featured as one of Apple's operating systems and desktop wallpaper images. You can take a few nights to backpack across the entire island on the Trans-Catalina Trail, or you can do a day trip like I did. Remember, if you subscribe to my channel, I'm going to show you the cool, lesser-known locations no one talks about. And if you enjoyed all the work it took to make this video, I would appreciate a like. And if I missed one of your favorite spots, let me know in the comments. Climbing Mount Baldy is definitely on my list after the snow melts. For now, check out my next video as I go in depth about how to enjoy Catalina Island. Thank you for watching and see you next time.